Hello and welcome to our final video for this week. So it is week 5, training video 3. And in this training, we're going to look at how to create a fantastic Work With Me page for your website. Because it's a really important element of any sales, and also the importance of customer retention and what that basically means for your business. So the purpose of the training is to enable you to create your Work With Me page. Now I'm going to provide a formula and you are going to edit and amend that as much as you like. And I want you to understand the importance of retaining clients and how you can stand out in the world of business and new business by looking after the clients that you do develop and selling more to them, so that you don't have to always be taking on new clients. Now, you might think that contradicts what I've said in every other training, and it's not meant to. For most of you, you're at that stage where you're starting out in business, so you're taking on the clients. So essentially what we're looking at is we want to build you up to critical mass, whereby the majority of your income comes from nurturing existing clients, and that's something that happens over time. But I'm going to talk you through the importance of it. So what will we cover today? How to create a shit hot Work With Me page, and financial and personal benefits of retaining clients and how to do this. So I vary with my Work With Me page. Initially, I did pay someone to write the copy for my first website, The Naked Sales Coach, but more recently I've taken it upon myself to follow my own formulas. I worked very heavily with a copywriting coach for almost a year, and she's given me absolutely loads of tips, the majority of which I will share with you today. So what is the Work With Me? So the Work With Me is basically your Work With Me page on your website. For some people, it can be a variation of the About Me page, or I would literally just have it like a services page. But you could call it services or Work With Me. Work With Me is literally just telling them exactly what's going to happen. They're going to work with you. And it's a page that speaks directly to your ideal client, and it speaks to them and it inspires them to take the next step. Now, as you know, we have a customer journey, which we've clearly crafted out. So the next step might be to contact you to organize a sample of one of your products, to contact you to organize an initial consultation, to book on to one of your workshops, whatever the case may be. Your Work With Me page has one purpose and one purpose alone, and that's to inspire people to take the next step and to book either the sales call, the discovery call, or to book onto one of your courses. So we have a Work With Me formula, which I'm going to take you through. It starts with a compelling headline, and then we're going to dive straight into their problems. We're going to offer a shit hot solution, similar to what we do in your sales conversations. We're going to provide testimonials, and those testimonials help you overcome any objections. We're going to have the call to action, and we're going to tell them exactly what to do next. So it's a very straightforward formula, and you can create your own one of these in a short period of time, and feel free to share it in the group so that we can all test it and see if it works. But again, when you're speaking to someone, when you're creating this, it's to speak to your ideal client and no one else. So we're going to use a lot of yous, and we're going to make it really bespoke to them. So when we look at the compelling headline, this is the start of your Work With Me page, and the purpose of this is to create curiosity, grab attention, and give an insight into the results that you can create for your client. So basically that's what we want to do, that wham bam, create a headline. And then we want to have a subheading that overcomes any possible objections your client will have. It's like what we said when we signed up for this training. We don't want to overcome any objections. We want to obliterate them. We want to look at them straight away and say, no, we're having none of this. And the best way to do them is to dive into it straight on. So I've got a couple of examples here. So one example could be somebody who coaches somebody on either confidence eating, healthy eating. It's time to free yourself from the pain of overeating, so you can enjoy a healthy and happy body that you've been craving for as long as you can remember. Even if you're stuck in a cycle of overeating and don't know how you'll manage to change your eating habits. So do you see what we did there? Most people, when they look to free themselves from the pain of overeating, will actually be stuck in a cycle of overeating, so they're worried about what's going to happen. So by tackling that objection, you're showing that you know about them, and you're showing that you know about it straight away. So maybe, and this is an example I thought of for Beata, would be Give me just 2 weeks and I'll help you transform your home and remove all clutter so that you can regain a sense of control and feel at home again. Even if you're addicted to buying new stuff and have spent a small fortune on all of the items that now make you feel so miserable. So there we go, we're giving them a time frame. So it's results orientated. It will take me 2 weeks. So what time period will it take you to remove all of that clutter? And actually, what's the result here so that they can regain a sense of control and feel at home again? And we both know when people are addicted to buying new stuff, they've probably spent a small fortune, so they don't want to throw away something that's cost them money. So it's about tackling that objection head on so that you can make them aware that you know what they're going through and how you can help. So looking at number 2, so after we've had our compelling headline and we've overcome the main objection, we want to dive straight into their problems. So you can tell them, I'm going to dive straight in. I know what you're struggling with. You want to grow your business, but you're not sure how to do it in a way that works for you. I want you to cover 2 to 3 problems that you know they suffer with. What do these problems actually look like in their lives? How are they presenting them in their lives? Could it be that they feel miserable and overweight? They feel unattractive. Their home doesn't feel like their home anymore. Could it be that they're struggling to find the right type of jewellery for their wedding to make their wedding feel really special? Could it be that their staff are demotivated and feeling miserable so that they need massage services? Pain is considerably more of a motivator than pleasure. Massively, massively, massively. So look and dive straight into 2 to 3 problems that you absolutely categorically know that they suffer with. And then we move on to number 3. And number 3 is the solution. The good news is that I can help you. I've put aside some time in my diary to speak with you this week. On that call, I'll show you exactly how we can work together so that you can achieve X, Y, and Z within X, Y, and Z. Even if, and then if there's any objections, even if you've tried this before, even if you've paid someone for the same services before. And then we can look at, it doesn't have to take forever for you to achieve X result, and you don't have to stay stuck where you are. It's very possible for you to create big change fast when you have a proven blueprint to follow and an expert helping you along the way. I've helped dozens of women just like you get unstuck with X in 6 weeks or less, and I can show you how to do the same. So for someone like Ashley, you could say, the good news is that I can help you. I've put aside some time in my diary to speak with you this week. On that call, I'll show you exactly how we can work together so that you can create a business around your other commitments within the next 3 months, even if you're extremely busy and you have limited time available. It doesn't have to take forever for you to leave the corporate world that's holding you back, and you don't have to stay stuck where you are. So do you see how you can adapt this and change it based on any industry? And I think it's about playing around with the words, playing around with the phrases, playing around with the sentences so that you offer a solution on your Work With Me page. So the next part of your Work With Me page is to add testimonials. And when we're adding testimonials, we want them to be really specific. And the reason we want them to be really specific is because your testimonials are going to speak to your ideal client much like you are. So make them quantifiable and something people can attach some more meaning to. So you don't want to say, I help people lose weight. I help people lose a minimum of X and tone up within X period of time. You don't want to say that you help people feel better through Reiki or reflexology. What you want to say is, I help people, and you want the testimonials to say that you've helped them achieve, clearer complexion, better skin, better agility, clearer mind, all of these things. You want to make it really, really quantifiable. And can your testimonials, overcome any objections? So can they say, when I first started, I was a wee bit worried about the time commitment, but by working with Stacey, I now realise she's absolutely amazing and just what I needed. And the best way for a testimonial to overcome objections is for you to ask them in the testimonial, what hesitations did you have about working with me before we got together? And would you now recommend me? So ask them what the hesitations were. Get them to tell you what the objections were and get them to tell you why you overcame those objections. And is there emotion in your testimonials? Are you talking about what people have actually achieved and what means a lot to people? So do you talk about how you've cured the heartache, how they feel so much better? Now, what I will have next week, when we're looking at the implementation, our plan for the next 3 months, I will have examples and sheets for the testimonials as well. But we want your testimonials to be really, really emotional. So the fifth part and the next part is our call to action. Now, our call to action has to remind them that you are the expert and helping them by providing the call. And you want to maintain your expert status, i.e., you're going to make it clear that you're amazing. There's nothing worse than having someone who looks like a desperado trying to get somebody to book in. And the reason that they look like a desperado is because they're constantly making out like they're underbooked, and they're saying, please click here and book on and I'll get back to you straight away and blah, blah, blah. No, you're an expert. This is not for everyone. Experts don't work with absolutely everyone. So you need to make it clear who you're going to work with. And you don't want to look like that desperado, because what actually happens is if you constantly act like you're looking for clients, people are going to think that your stuff isn't that good. You want to make it perfectly aware who you do work with, who you don't work with, and why you want people to be serious. So an example is that you could say, this is not for everyone. I have limited time in my diary. I can only speak with people who are serious. Before you book in your call with me, you must meet the following criteria and list out they must be committed to changing their health for the better. They must be committed to building a new life, and also who you will not work with. People who aren't committed, people who don't want it, and people who won't put in the effort. And this is a discovery call. It's there to understand where they are and the help they need and how your solution will help. Now, sometimes you do strategy sessions and sometimes you do problem solving sessions as well. On your Work With Me page, I would recommend that in the first instance you focus on the discovery call, because if they're on your website and they're reading through everything that you do, hopefully they'll know that wee bit more about you, and actually they'll know what you specialise in so that you can take them through that process this wee bit quicker. Now, the final step in your Work With Me page formula is this is what you do next. Now, remember very early on, we looked at the 10 fundamentals of human behaviour, and people hate uncertainty. They want to know exactly what's going to happen next. And as I've said time and time again, it's your job to tell them and to have a clearly crafted process. So if you meet the criteria, please click on the link below to book in a time in my diary. You will be asked to answer a few questions. So we've looked at the sales conversations. We sell them that pre-questionnaire. You'll be asked to answer a few questions about your current situation, so I can understand a little more about where you're at and what you'd like to achieve before our call. The call will be held over Skype or FaceTime and will last approximately 30 minutes, and you'll leave knowing exactly what you need to do to achieve X, Y, and Z. So change that. If it's about them booking on for a free introductory session for your yoga classes, tell them exactly what you're going to do. If it's about them booking on for your massage, you want to tell them exactly what your 2-hour initial massage class covers, Gemma, okay? So be really, 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 really clear. If your Work With Me page is more about product-based offerings, that's absolutely perfect. You're still going to have your About Us page, and you're going to talk about the discovery of those products, why they work absolutely perfect, and maybe that this is what you do next is telling them to pop onto your online store, to browse what you're offering, to come into your premises, to take a look around and to purchase something, or to contact you for that initial consultation for designing their bespoke wedding jewellery. Tell them exactly what you want them to do next. Now, the next bit that we want to look at is the power of retaining customers. Now, this is something that I feel so passionate about, because when you've gone to all of this hard work to become an expert and to build relationships, you really do want to work with people as much as possible. And as an expert, you're going to continue to grow. So you're always going to grow and learn, and you're always going to develop new stuff in your business. So if you start working with your clients very early on in their journey, and you're always growing a few steps ahead of them, they can come with you on that journey. So you might start with one course, it might be group, then it might be one-to-one. You might start with training, you might start with certain products, so you might sell them the wedding jewellery, and then they come back to you to get anniversary jewellery for first babies, etc. You might sell them an initial workshop, they might come to one for you for one-to-one perfume making. You know, we want to retain customers, because generating new customers costs you in terms of time, money, and effort. And actually, there's nothing worse than a leaky bucket. There's nothing worse than spending all of this money to attract in new customers if you're not taking care of them and they're only buying from you once. So we want to encourage them to buy from you more than once and to reward loyalty. Now, I'm really passionate about reward and loyalty, because I think there's nothing more frustrating than when banks, gyms, TV providers like Sky and Virgin all reward new customers and not loyalty. So hang on a minute, I've been a client of yours for X amount of years, but you're not going to tell me about your amazing offers, but your TV adverts are trying to get old people to buy new phones. And one really good example of that is I've been a customer of T-Mobile for quite some time now, I think since 2010. And every 2 years I update my iPhone. And this time around, I'm like, actually, you know, like, I don't think I need a new iPhone. My iPhone's working fine. It's great, but my 2-year contract ran out in June. And I just checked my diary today and I realised nobody has contacted me since June to chat to me about having a new contract or any offers. And I think part of the reason why is because I'm continuing to pay 70 quid a month, I think I pay, for my phone and for the tablet that I bought for Blair. So why would they contact me? Because they'd be due me back money. So I'm going to go into T-Mobile tomorrow and I'm going to discuss it with them. But it is really frustrating as a customer that they don't reward my loyalty. If I was them, they should have phoned me in June and said, okay, do you want a new phone, or we've got this amazing SIM only package, and just actually make me feel a bit more special. So I want you to consider this situation. So imagine you sell to a client and the amount of the sale or the value of the sale is £2,000. Now this is just an example. So rather than try to aim and secure only new clients, you will nurture this existing client and aim to increase the amount you sell to them by 10%. So I just want you to improve by 10%. So perhaps you recommend a new product. And perhaps when they're buying from you, you recommend an upgrade. So maybe they were buying one package and you recommend a slight upgrade on another package. But all I'm asking you to do is increase the value of the sales to 10%. So all of a sudden, the value is 2,200. So hang on a minute, I've just made an extra £200 there by doing very, very little. And then maybe you work hard on these relationships and you sell to them more frequently. Say you sell to them once more throughout the course of the year, so another 10% increase on your new sales. So all of a sudden, your £2,000 sale has jumped up to 2,200, and then we add another 10% onto that because you sell to them more frequently. And the value of that sale is 2,420. Now, there will be a handout sheet in your worksheet for this. So by making 2 small changes, you increase your overall sales by almost 25%. So it's worth selling more to existing clients and rewarding loyalty, because you earn considerably more money than if you're just constantly trying to take on new clients. So take your sale, try and sell that tiny bit more to them, just a tiny bit more. It's like in Starbucks when they ask you, do you want a gold coin? Do you want to buy a cake? It's like when you're at the checkout in Superdrug and they turn around and say, would you like any mints today? Would you like any chewing gum? Would you like any tissue? Would you like this deodorant? They're not high ticket items. They don't need them to be high ticket items. They just need you to spend a tiny bit more. And then you go into some shops, like I was in Marks and Spencer's today and I got a £5 voucher off my next shop. So they want me to come back. So they're trying to get me to come back another time. So not only are they trying to increase the amount that they sell to me, but they increase the frequency of those sales, because they realize the difference that that's going to make to their bottom line, and that's going to make a massive difference to your bottom line as well. So you don't have to think massive amounts. If you've got 5 customers and you can increase the sales volume or the sales value to all of them by 25%, that's the same as having 1 new customer. So it's a massive, massive big deal. So how can you do this? You can improve customer experience so they want to buy more from you. So when you're talking about improving customer experience, it's literally about making them feel more valued. And I would recommend that you break down the customer experience into before, during, and after the sale. And the way that you do that is that you just look at your entire process and think, oh, actually, before they buy from me, how can I make them feel more special? And that could be your questionnaire, how you build rapport, the information that you share on social media with them, any information that you send to them via email, even just calling up and confirming your appointment or sending an email out to confirm your appointment. During the sale, how can you provide absolutely excellent customer service during the sale? Just bending over backwards to be the best possible version of yourself, really taking care of them, making sure that you're fully present and making sure that you're absolutely amazing. And then after the sale as well, is there a follow-up? Do you send them a thank you card? Do you send them a thank you voice message? Do you send them a phone call? Whatever the case may be. But if I were you, if I wanted to retain customers and get them to spend more with me and to buy more with me, I would be looking at how you can improve the customer experience and look at before, during, and after. You could suggest other products and services that may work for them. You can always have other packages available, so you do not offer them everything at once, and you nurture your clients and you ask for recommendations as well. So, what do I need you to do now? First and foremost, I need you to create your Work With Me page. And then I want you to list all of the ways you can improve your customer experience before they buy from you, whilst they're buying from you, and after they work with you. And I want you to get clear on what your customer experience is going to be and how you're going to make it absolutely fantastic. And actually, this is going back to what we've discussed in various other trainings: is be a detective, be a customer service detective. Go for a nice afternoon tea. We discussed in week 1 that after 12 weeks, we reward ourselves, and we reward ourselves with a prize. So maybe you go for afternoon tea, maybe you get your hair done, maybe you get your nails done, but I want you to monitor the customer service and get loads of ideas as to what you deem to be the best possible customer service and how you can improve on it. That's all for this week. I look forward to chatting to you next week, and obviously chatting to you in the Facebook group as well. Thank you. Bye.